Hello again, everyone. Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan. It is Saturday, the 18th of January. Glad to see you here. Here once again to discuss the Miami Heat, how I see the development of the team, and of course our latest game, which was a 115-108 victory Friday night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're going to discuss that game. A couple of main points I picked up on. Heat now have a record of 29-12, good for second best in the Eastern Conference. If you do like the content of this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to go ahead and ring the notification bell as well if you'd like to do that. Okay, so everyone, let's get into the observations of the game itself. It was a good one. This was one of the better road wins for the Heat against a above 500 team that currently would be in the playoffs in the Western Conference. If the season were to end today, they would be in the playoffs, and that is the Oklahoma City Thunder. So it's a very, very good quality win for the Heat. I will start off with point number one. This team that we played, of course, Oklahoma City. We only get to play them twice a year because they are on the Western, it's Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and the NBA. So Oklahoma City is a Western Conference team. I only get to see them twice per year. With that being said, this is a totally new look Oklahoma City team, but it's a pretty good one, though. They did a pretty good job with this team. I mean, to see them go out there and play the Thunder without Russell Westbrook, I mean, that's going to take me like 3 years to get used to, because Russell Westbrook was the franchise. I mean, he was the staple of that franchise for years. Even it was him and Durant, of course, Kevin Durant for many years, and then Durant eventually would part ways with Oklahoma City. And then we had, of course, Russell Westbrook the last few years and playing awesome, like Hall of Fame caliber basketball for the Thunder. And then, of course, they added Paul George, who's no longer with the Thunder anymore. So to see this whole new look team without Westbrook, without Paul George, and when you look at it from a win-loss perspective, they're pretty much producing what they did last year, really. I mean, 23-19 is Oklahoma City, even with the loss. So it was interesting to see this new look Oklahoma City Thunder team, I will say. Point number two, I liked the bigger lineup for the Heat. Now, by lineup, I don't mean starting lineup, because that was the same. That remained the same. But now with Kelly Olynyk getting the minutes on Friday night, which was the highlight of the game, and as far as my humble opinion, me just being a fan as far as that goes, and James Johnson now in the mix, we'll be able to add a little bit more size, so a bigger 1 through 9. We played 9 players, so this was a bigger Heat effort in terms of size of the 1 through 9 lineup, not the starting lineup, but we were able and successfully so able to add more size, and we won the rebounding battle by 10 in this game, 45-35. So that was great to see. Of course, getting into the breakdown of the game, and let's touch on point number 3 real quick. Kendrick Nunn leading the way for the Heat with 22 points. Last few games, what have we seen? We've seen a little bit more Kendrick out there with the scoring first mentality, as we saw at the beginning parts of the season. Kendrick definitely seems to be more aggressive in terms of scoring goes. 22 points and a steal leads the way for the Heat. Bam Adebayo with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. He played a very good game for the Heat. Jimmy Butler, a little bit more of one of his well-rounded games. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, he pretty much did it all. 2 steals and a block. So, 14, 10, and 7, 2 steals and a block. I mean, the guy, he just helps the Heat in so many different ways. He doesn't have to score 25 points to be the star for us. He can score 14, 15, and make a tremendous impact on the outcome of the game. Duncan Robinson, nice solid game for him. 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Not bad at all. Myers Leonard, only 14 minutes for Myers. We were seeing him in the low to mid-20s. He checked in only with 14 minutes on Friday night. Did produce, though, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, guys. Not bad at all. Not bad at all, especially for 14 minutes. Derrick Jones Jr. would lead the Heat bench with 13 points and 5 rebounds. He did add a steal. Kelly Olynyk, as mentioned a few moments ago, the return of Kelly Olynyk off the bench, 17 minutes. We'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it. Perfect world. I'd like to see him in the 20 to 25-minute range. He would produce, did Kelly Olynyk, with 12 big points off the bench, 7 rebounds. Very impressed with that, guys. Goran Dragic, not quite himself. 10. I mean, he produced. I mean, you look at what he was able to do. That part was pretty good. 10 points, 5 assists, but the shooting percentage wasn't there. Missed a fair amount of shots. He was 4 out of 13 from the field. We're going to see that this season's version of Goran Dragic is a little bit more hit or miss as far as shots made versus shots missed, because he is definitely in scoring mode off the bench for the Heat. So he's looking to score out there, guys. No questions asked. He's just looking to score. James Johnson, I like what he added. I do. He didn't score, but he was a factor. He was a factor. He would grab 5 rebounds, which is nice. He blocked a shot, and he added that presence. He plays bigger than he really is, does James Johnson. He's a physical kind of player. Seeing him back in our lineup, coupled with Olynyk returning last night with the minutes, I like it. It's a step in the right direction. We need to mix it up a little more with bigger players, and I like how we did that on Friday night. That was nice. For Oklahoma City, now, again, this is a team that's having a decent season. As I was mentioning before, I mean, a 23-19 record, not that bad. If the season were to end today, they would make the playoffs as a 7th seed. Danilo Galinari would lead the way for Oklahoma City, 27 points. He had 6 rebounds and 4 assists. He also added a steal. He played tremendous. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. Very nice game for him. Don't forget Chris Paul. With the loss of Westbrook, Paul George, they added a couple of nice players. Chris Paul, the big offseason addition for this Oklahoma City Thunder team, he played nice. I mean, he's had better games, but still, he had a nice game. 14 points, 3 rebounds, and 14 points, 3 rebounds. And he would have a half dozen assists, 6 assists. Nerlens Noel played well for Oklahoma City. He had 10 points. He had 6 rebounds. He would have a steal as well, and he would block 3 shots with Nerlens Noel. Oklahoma City bench doesn't seem very deep. Maybe that's an area they could address. They do have Dennis Shroder off the bench, who could start for at least a handful of teams in the league. Many teams would like to have him. He would finish with 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists. He had a very nice game off the bench for the Thunder. Hamidou Diallo, hope I got that right. He would finish with 11 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal. So that was nice for them as well off the bench. Other than that, I mean, Mike Muscala would have 6 points and 2 rebounds. He's a good big guy, though, off the bench, Mike Muscala. So not a bad. Actually, the Heat could use him. He would be a nice addition for the Heat, now that I think about it. As far as overall game trends and things of that nature, field goal percentage, we did get the advantage there, did Miami. Heat 48.8%, so right at about 49%, not bad. Oklahoma City at 44%. So we were able to hold them in check for the most part. In terms of field goal percentage, three-point shooting was virtually the same. Oklahoma City would make 4 more threes than we did, 18 to 14. But if you look at the percentage, we're at 38.9. They're at 39.1. That it's a tie right there, pretty much as far as percent. But they did make 4 more threes. Rebounding, as I had mentioned a few moments ago, the Heat would have the advantage here by 10. 45 to 35 in rebounds. I like that. Turnovers virtually the same. This was a problem for the Heat. If we go back a couple of weeks, a few videos I had done about that, not just about that, but I had pointed out that we're losing the turnover battle. But in Friday night's game, it was pretty much the same. Heat would have 1 more turnover. That's it. Then Oklahoma City, 11 turnovers to 10 for Oklahoma City. So that's pretty much it, guys, as far as the breakdown of this game. It was a nice win. We showed a little bit more muscle underneath, did the Heat. Good sign, like to see it. Kendrick Nunn, of course, playing a little bit more aggressively on the offensive side of the ball. Point number 4, our road performance. Now, I've been critical, yes, in the past videos, excuse me, about our road performance. It's really not that bad. Boston Celtics have, I believe, 2 more wins than they do losses on the road. We're at 11-11 on the road. The only other team, well, there's a few other teams with winning records on the road in the Eastern Conference, but that would be Milwaukee, who's like awesome this year. I mean, they have a tremendous record, one of the best records in the NBA. And Toronto Raptors are the second best road team at 12-7, as I just noticed prior to this video. 12-7. Then you got Boston 2 over 500, and then you got the Heat and many other, a handful of other teams right around 500, with the Heat at 11-11. So you know what? I mean, it's not really that bad. I would like to see us though get about 2-3 games over 500 on the road as we move deeper into the season. I don't think that's asking too much. It would be great to see, though. It would. Other than that, guys, this was a quality victory. Definitely a quality win for the Heat. We needed this one. We needed a nice road win against a team with an above 500 record, which Oklahoma City is. And it's nice to get a nice road win against a Western Conference team. I don't know. Always seems a little nicer. We don't play the West that much, so as much, as we do the Eastern Conference teams. So nonetheless, it was really, really nice to see. Usually I'll go ahead and looking ahead, I'll point out our next 2 or 3. For this video, we're just gonna look at the next game. The next one, it's a big game. It really is. This will be Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, on the road against a team that we just beat Wednesday night at home in San Antonio, Spurs. You know they're going to be well coached with Coach Popovich. They're battling. The Spurs are off to a little bit of a rough start this season. So, they're scrapping for whatever they can get. They got to get into this playoff conversation as one of the better teams in the West, which they're struggling to get that respectability as of right now, but they're not out of it either. So, I mean, you look at the Spurs, this could be a nice test for us, especially going on the road. Spurs have a real big following, so this will be a road game again, 3 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow or Sunday, that's the 19th of January. So with a win, the Heat will go over 500 on the road. Again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. See how we play it. Let's see a little more Kelly Olynyk. Let's see a little more of that. Let's see 20 minutes, 22 minutes. James Johnson. Yeah, we'll keep him involved in the mix, keep him in that rotation. Goran, of course, Derrick Jones Jr. is definitely here to stay in the rotation with his defense and his well-rounded play. Really, I mean, another 13 points. I mean, another 10-plus outing for Derrick Jones Jr. So all these things very important, guys. When we look at our bench, the Miami Heat bench, which seems to be kind of like, if you notice, it's a work in progress this season. That kind of goes from one phase to the next, and then we get James Johnson back. Don't forget, we're gonna get Justice Winslow back at some point. Okay, so that's going to kind of throw a little playing time curveball at us for a few guys, but we need Justice Winslow. He's a really nice, well-rounded player, plays good defense too, so we await his return, that's for sure. So Dennis Sullivan signing off for now. I will see you, yes, you, next time. We'll discuss a little bit more Miami Heat. For now, I would like to thank you for watching latest edition of Sports Snippets. And let's go Heat. Let's go on Sunday. Let's get this victory, guys. We can do it. We can get this win. We'll see what happens, though. 29-12, sit the Heat. Second best record in the East. I'll see you next time.